everybody wants to talk about drugs, and let's talk about UGLs for a second and where the hell you're getting your drugs from. So if you want to be on PEDs, if this is what you're going for, I'd like to explore UGLs and potentially the dangers of UGLs. What are your thoughts?
It's dangerous. It's like anything. It's like getting your Percocets from a street guy. And that's why, you have people dropping dead because there's fentanyl in it. You don't know what's in it. It's not being examined by a professional.
This essentially can be made in a bathtub.
Yeah, it could be
somebody's
anything.
house. It's a home brew in many cases. So these guys have no regulation. There's no valid lot or NDC number, no matter what is being said to you. Those are labels. And the product themselves, you don't know who makes it. So is that safe?
Not to me, no.
So
No.
there you have it. So if you're going to go out there and you're going to go to an underground lab and you think you're going to get something, first off, you don't know its purity. You don't know if it's the real product. You're basically taking a chance, playing Russian roulette with your body. You get one life. So think about that before you introduce foreign substances that you have no clue about into it.
Brilliant.
And the final one is, now I've already been corrected. There are no no-nos in regarding questions, but a lot of you ask the same damn question and it just needs to go. It just needs to stop. So asking pros about the stack they're taking, whether it's bulking or cutting, what are your thoughts in regards to that?
It's almost disrespectful, almost irrelevant, because what Joe Blow uses is not going to necessarily make you Mr. Olympia or as I keep going back to, everybody's different. You got to find out what works for you and be responsible, be smart, and it's just not. I liken this. I was in a bar once, and some of you will get a kick out of this, and some of you won't. And this woman that I didn't know asked me, didn't know me, just randomly, what kind of steroids are you taking? I'm like, excuse me? I'm like, are you into anal sex? I'm like, it's kind of a private question.
That's a fair
isn't
analogy,
it?
right?
Yeah. I'm like, do you like anal sex? How often do you have anal sex? And she knew exactly what I was getting at immediately and was like, fair enough, It's a private question. Why would you come up to a random stranger and ask them that? Any more than you'd go ask them if they're into anal. So there's your answer. It's no secret that pro athletes, pro bodybuilders, pro baseball players, football players, track stars, all use certain compounds or drugs, PEDs, but it's not the question you should be going up and asking them. And they're not a loser or lying or liars because they don't sit there and discuss it with you. It's private. It's a private thing, I just find it disrespectful because you're essentially discarding all their efforts to get to where they are, and all you're interested in, you're not like, how many years have you been doing this? How much do you sleep at night? How much do you eat?
You're reducing it all to drugs.
Exactly.
It's like going up and saying, well.
And that's why it becomes disrespectful to me, I had a friend within the industry, a good friend, who messaged me. He's like, I'm so frustrated. I really need your hookup. I'm like, my hookup? What the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, you of all people should know how long I've been working at this. It's not a hookup. It's my guys giving me garbage. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? So I got pissed and didn't even answer him. That's someone within the industry. It just rubs me the wrong way.
So folks in the industry themselves don't really discuss it.
Oh, of course not. If you're better than me, then you have something better than me.
Right.
You're taking better drugs. If you're bigger, then you're taking the king of all drugs. That's why everyone in Kuwait is bigger, better, and making gains, but no one here is. What? No, it has nothing to do with that. It really doesn't. It is what it is. That's why if you keep it simple, you'll know exactly what works and what doesn't. Don't add all these million different variables that you're going to take forever to figure it out, and you don't even know what's working. So that's my take. I don't like the drug talk. I'm willing to discuss it on here for educational purposes and to open people's eyes and enlighten people that it's not a drug game.
And what works for Jose or what works for someone else is not going to always be the same. Hormones in general, they vary from person to person. You could even take something as simple as Tylenol. Some people respond to Tylenol. Other people respond to Advil. Some people, myself included, respond to aspirin. So it might just be as simple as that. When you try to say, I want your stack, you're essentially going back into that Rich Piana theory, and you're going to write some big stack out. And if you take it, all of a sudden you're going to look like Jose. Well, that's not going to happen. You have to put in a lot of hard work, and there's no saying that any particular compound will respond to you in the same way it responded to him. So asking is just prying in someone's personal business. It has no real value, and it won't help you. If anything, it could harm you. If you look at things like Rich Piana's stack that he put out there, you're basically asking for death. So think about that when you're asking these questions. Is it private? Would you like to be asked about anal sex, etc.? Some of you guys would. Anyway, have a good one.
We'll leave it at that.
Alright, this is the Boston Mass. Thanks again for watching. Now, if you're not subscribing, subscribe now. Tell all your friends to subscribe. If you haven't, do it now. Alright?